part of the bulletin family. Today I feel very happy because God has allowed me to avail of a new medication against cancer. Many people in our country do not know that there is a so-called cancer revolution where there is a drug for every kind of cancer and the drug only attacks the cancer, not the surrounding areas. That was the main difficulty before. It's very targeted and the result is that today modern medicine no longer looks on cancer as a sentence of doom. It's just a challenge. If one medicine does not work, you go shift to another and then wait the next week maybe for another new medication. That's how fast they are working. So our scientists are really doing a good job.
But Filipino doctors are caring for you now.
Yes, I never went to America, but the doctor went to me. Dr. Mark Chris, who is head of lung cancer center in New York, came over and examined all my documents, examined me, and then left instructions on what I should take. And even helped me to avail of this clinical trial where I'm enrolled. People should know clinical trials. They are trials by certain pharmaceutical companies of their medications. So in effect, it's not as wild as becoming a
Mutant.
yeah. They want to know if there will be certain side effects that they will warn the public about and so on. But people on a clinical trial get all the services and the medications for free.
Ma'am, can you give us a little description about this treatment? Is it in a form of medicine? Is it injected? Or ano pong klase siya, ma'am?
Yeah. On the first occasion, I thought that I was going to get injected with chemotherapy right away. No, they prescribed a pill,
Okay, a
which is
pill.
also one of the wonder pills today. So that I did not transition from a normal person to a sick person. The pill enabled me to just continue with what I was doing. But eventually, we could no longer fight the cancer cells. They could see that from the scans. The cancer cells show themselves as bright points on the scan.
Okay.
So I had to change. I changed to a chemotherapy. And then after that, I'm now on this coded pill. It's just coded. It has no market name.
The chemo, ma'am, was it oral chemo or
I have a tube here in my chest, and it just open it every time it is time for chemotherapy, and it just inject me with a solution.
Ma'am, are you at liberty to say what the name of this wonder pill is?
No, because even the manufacturers don't know themselves. They will name it when it is marketed.
Do you have any idea how many other people are taking it? at the same
There are
time?
several of us all over the world, and in each one there is a so-called principal investigator who oversees and manages the test and checks me every month to see if there are any side effects that I should be protected from. So, in effect, my case is an eye-opener, I think, for the ordinary Filipino who cares about his health. There are so many new advances that we should never lose hope.
Ma'am, who recommended you this treatment?
Dr. Mark.
Dr. Marquis,
Okay.
he is a friend of my relative in America.
Other than that, wala na, ma'am. There's this some kind of wonder treatment also in China where Filipinos go if they...
Yeah,
Sa ano,
yeah, nearby. That is Chinese medicine.
Yes, ma'am. But
I am using Western medicine.
okay.
Ma'am, how long have you been in this yung regimen treatment?
Almost 2.5 years.
And yung mga manifestations po sa inyo?
Well, first of all, I did not lose my hair. I did not turn bald. But my eyebrows and my eyelashes became very thick.
Sick, baliktad,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes. I look like a doll.
Ang gandang side effect nun, ma'am.
Yeah. And then one side effect is more common with other people. My fingers began to bleed. Blood would come out of the sides of the finger. That is a mark of cancer. And normally, it can be eradicated just by this pill I was taking.
Parang coagulant that makes your blood thicker.
Oh, whatever.
Now we go to the election.
Yes.
Okay.
What will be your first
Agenda.
executive order when you become president?
To order an investigation of the commercial surveys. So na palagi akong number one. Ngayon naman, sa universities and colleges, number one pa rin ako. At sa Veritas mismo, conducted by the clerics of the Catholic Church, which should be truthful using a scientific method, I was number two. Eh bakit nakapako na ako doon sa last? The strategy is to deprive me of enough recorded votes that the contributors will no longer give me money. Of course, if I have no more money, then I'm at sea, and then they come and make me an offer. Not to me directly, but to my husband. They wouldn't dare. They'd be dead by now. The offer is, if you think you're not going to win, can you withdraw and endorse me instead? And I will refund your campaign expenses up to 350 million. Eh kung wala pala akong kwenta, bakit pa nila ako bibigyan ng pera? Para mabaliktad lang. Bakit nila ako iniinsulto ng ganon?
From which camp, ma'am?
Almost all approach my husband because they know that he normally spends lunchtime there.
Ma'am, 300 million is the average?
350.
Average offer?
Not the average offer. It was one
It's the
offer
real offer.
out of many.
So,
Kaya kung gusto ko lang, may 200 million ako, let's say, may 200 million ako ngayon. O, di pamimigay ko na lang ngayon sa mga kaibigan ko.
Ay, tayo.
Oo, sa Bulletin Family. Ganon ang politics ngayon. So that your readers will understand what's going on.
Are you don't believe in surveys, ma'am? What's happening now?
Well, this particular time I don't. Because the reported news has no relation to reality. How can I be number one in every university in the Philippines, in every province, wherever you go in the archipelago, and not rate under these commercial surveys? And the danger is that these commercial surveys, if we allow them to operate like this, will eventually become the kingmakers, not the voters of the Filipinos. They will, by means of their surveys, dictate to us and precondition our minds to which candidates are going to win. So in effect, they have the power to choose. That is very dangerous. It's anti-democratic. Mientras in the surveys published in the universities, the surveys are conducted either by the school authorities or by student organizations authorized by the school authorities and released by the school authorities.
And a bigger number of participants.
Yes, in the case of these voodoo surveys,
Isn't there a decision by the court that by the COMELEC that all surveys must reveal who the funding of
yes.
the source of the funding?
But the news reports do not mention. They reveal it. They comply with that directive of the COMELEC. But normally it's not mentioned. So we have to be very careful. Are we going to follow surveys? If that is the case, I would rather be the owner of a survey firm than President of the Philippines because I can choose who are the leaders of our country and dictate to them what policies to follow.
Every time we have an election, there's always hope for an honest,
Yeah.
peaceful, and orderly elections. Do you see that happening
No.
in May? Why
I
do you
don't
say
think so.
that, ma'am?
Because there are people who are determined to become president and will stop at no measure to ensure their victory. They know that they are not popular, but they have money. They can hire technicians and other advisors from abroad on how to go about making the machine look like a fool.
Ma'am, may I ask, if not you, who would you want to sit as president on June 3rd?
Well, from what I know of them by now, I don't have any answer to your question.
Wala sa
Nakita ko na kasi ang palakad nila eh.
Ma'am, you've been through several presidential elections. How would you describe the group now, the candidates,
Oh,
the set of candidates, ma'am?
well, the rapacity is the same. The greed for power is the same. The overweening ambition to become president, notwithstanding the lack of experience and background, is the same. So, it's basically an expression of human nature. Human nature wants always to aspire to higher heights. And unfortunately, if they are not modified by moral values, there is no end to their wickedness. Parang gusto nilang maging presidente talaga sila, maski anong gagawin at maski anong gastusin. Yun ang mahirap dyan. I ran for president because of my age. I'm already 70. So, I figure that until I'm 76, I'll be good with all my distilled wisdom from all the three branches of our government. I've served in the judiciary, in the legislature, and in the executive branch. But if it is not my fate, then I will turn to other areas.
What areas are these?
International law. Instead of this presidential campaign, I'm supposed to be presiding now as a judge of the International Criminal Court. But I got cancer. So I thought, maybe this is God's way of communicating to me. Do not go to International Criminal Court, stay in your own country. So if I stay here, I may as well join the battle for the presidency because I think I have the competence. I have no illusions about the presidency. It is not a glamour job. It can tear your nerves to pieces. The intrigues and the internal controversies surrounding your own group or party are almost too much to bear. So, I don't envy the person who, if not me, will become the president. I remember one former president who called for me in Malacanang, and the moment I approached him, there were just the two of us, he said, "Ayoko na. Hindi ko akalain ka dito pala." Those are the words of a sitting president.
Was that FBR, ma'am?
No.
Was that ERA, ma'am?
He would never call me and I would never go.
Was that Estrada, ma'am?
I don't want to reveal his identity.
Okay. Ma'am, if ever you land in Malacanang, who would compose your cabinet?
Oh, I will choose, of course, the best and the brightest. There should be an in-depth study
Yes.
of the best persons to constitute that. But I would like, if possible, to lay down the general guideline that half of the cabinet should be below 40 and half above 40, so that there will be a mix of the young and the old in the cabinet.
Ma'am, can
Do
you...
you have
Yeah.
anyone in mind, ma'am, in particular, right?
No.
Ma'am, can you describe the involvement of the youth now in the electoral process?
Oh yes, it's so much more impassioned and emotional. The young people have gone to college and they know they have their own opinions of what is right and what is wrong. So they are now more vehement in their expressions. And I do not know if I can check them properly if I'm not proclaimed president, if the young people will again rise to arms. They did in 1992 when it was said that I had lost it. But I dissuaded them because I thought the uprising might become bloody and I did not want to be responsible for the death of the young people. And I didn't want to be. So there is still that possibility that looms in the horizon. Young people may no longer be happy with the system.
Will you stop them if they decide to rise?
I have no answer to that. In the past, I was very decisive. I said, no, let's not stoop to bloody gore.
now you're kind of open to
But now-
with that.
If that is the only outlet for society, we have no choice.
For blood and gore.
Yes.
Okay.
How do you size up the social media as a political tool?
Wow, social media is unpredictable. Nobody ever knew how extensive its influence would be, or how many areas of conversation on the internet could be covered by social media. So it's I would say that nobody knows how to handle social media yet. They are all anarchic, but they are all online. And I notice from my side, from my camp, that more and more of my followers are turning to social media.
Speaking of social media,
Online questions.
From our Facebook followers. Number 1 po, from Josel Dawati Marero. What programs can a person with disability expect from your government?
Training and education. Since I have already passed through cancer, I'm very sensitive to the fact that people who have passed through serious diseases should still be allowed to contribute, if they can, to society. It would be a great waste if we all just put them aside. So I will provide training and education for the disabled, and then I will provide for a connection with business firms that will enable them to find early employment.
Second, ma'am, from one of our Facebook followers as well, Victor Anthony. What's your view on Shell's memorandum against the teaching of Filipino history and literature? How do you think this will affect the youth and literature?
The memorandum on what?
Against the teaching of Filipino history and literature.
That is a CHED memorandum
It's in secondary po.
Sa high
to
school.
secondary school.
Yung iangat po siya, yung tatagal ay sa tertiary, yung ibababa po siya to senior.
May I just clarify the question? There is
the memorandum.
a memorandum from the CHED.
Shed's memorandum po, yung subjects po na Filipino, ibababa po siya to senior.
To junior high, to senior high.
Oh, just juggling them around doesn't make much of a difference
Yeah.
unless you completely remove those that have been established already.
Next question.
How would you make sure economic growth is felt across all the strata of Philippine society?
Economic growth should always be driven by agriculture. We are an agricultural country. We are not a naturally industrializing country. So we have to build up agriculture, and there are many ways to do that. But in addition, we have to make sure that the productivity that ensues goes back to the people. So it should be a lopsided percentage in favor of the consumer as against the owner of the manufacturing establishment.
For the good of the nation, name names on those who allegedly bribed you 300 million to back out from the business.
Ano ito, Senado? For the good of the nation? Come on, you must be pulling my tail. Get out of here.
Next question.
From our netizen again.
Do you have any concerns about the effects that can harm the environment and our natural resources because of industrialization?
Industrialization, oh yes, there will always be an adverse effect on the climate and the environment by the increasingly modern technologies of manufacturing. So the challenge is how to reconcile our need for a safe environment with our need for modern updated technology. These are the functions of scientists. But I am certainly concerned about that. And I want a full implementation of the Clean Air Act, the Solid Waste Management Act, and all the other laws that we have passed in Congress, legislating clean environment. I want to say also that I am deeply concerned about mining firms because we are involved in mining gold. In my view, there are enough mining firms. Magpakita muna sila ng resulta nila in terms of taxes to our government. Pagkatapos, there should be a strict implementation of the law that requires them to return the surface of the earth as it was when they found it. Hindi pwedeng bubutasin lang nilang ganyan, alis sila, tapos ganyan na lang na ang itsura. So, we have to have a law that places a limit on the annual production of gold.
Speaking of technology, ma'am, from Boy Paldo, how do you think we can utilize technology in improving the traffic situation in the Philippines?
The
Traffic situation.
traffic situation. Well, there's no doubt about it. There's just too many people in Metro Manila for the amount of land present here. There's just too many people. Unless some people voluntarily commit suicide. And we cannot regulate people because every person wants a car these days. So what we should do is, we should have a railway system around Metro Manila. Let's stop the railway. And not only around Metro Manila, but specifically to Bulacan, Cavite, Laguna, and surrounding provinces. Dapat may tren. Meron na tayong mga sasakyan, meron tayong mga bus, mga jeep. Magkaroon tayo ng mga tren. Nung bata tayo, mga tren ang sasakyan natin. Plus, we must have a completely new railway system from Manila to Sorsogon. Ganon kalawak yun. Plus, there are many minor things that can be done. There should be bicycle and motorcycle lanes. A driver should be paid on a regular basis, just like other employees. One of the reasons there are so many traffic accidents and traffic violations is that the drivers are hoping to make more for the day so that their percentage of the income will be higher. They don't have fixed salaries.
From Francis Pryor, what is your stand about children being neglected by their parents?
Oh, I have a pending bill now in Congress that protects these children. But that's already outlawed by the Family Code and the following laws that implemented it. Child care and protection is already enshrined in our legislature. Who is this young man?
He's our
Editor of the Tempo.
Ray
Oh,
Ray Bangkot.
Ray.
It's always early. For the deadline.
Next question.
Next na. From Chris Medina po, Facebook follower din po, ipapakulong niyo po ba si Pinoy dahil sa nangyari sa 44 in elected president?
Nangyari sa
Sa 44.
sa 44. That would be very difficult. You're asking me in my capacity as a frustrated judge of the International Criminal Court. Is he, as a former head of state, personally liable for what were executed during his term by inferior military officers? It's unlikely. Kasi there must be a direct nexus or connection between the order of the head of state and the action, the criminal action that is complained about.
From Albina Hamora, why Bongbong Marcos?
Oh, well, first of all, when I decided to run for president, other competent vice presidential candidates were already spoken for. Meron na silang mga partido. Pero na-notice ko, si Bongbong, wala siyang kasama, wala siyang kandidato pagka-pangulo. Kaya tinawagan ko siya. At wala naman akong reservations about him. Number one, he was my former student in the UP College of Law, although he dropped out eventually. Number two, at least napunta siya sa Oxford. There is no specific distinction, but at least nag-eskwela. Pagkatapos, nagkasama kami sa Senado, competent naman ang participation niya as a senator. Oh, well, that depends on the commercial surveys. We can give them a ring and ask them, whom do you want to lead the survey? Then we'll know ahead of everybody else. Because I believe these survey firms are no longer restrained by the ethics of their profession.
What is your message to each of your fellow candidates from Mayong Lapid?
We are engaged in the ultimate effort in a democracy, the effort to hear what every single individual voter wants to hear from his government. So instead of lecturing down to our people, we should spend more time listening, to, especially to the youth who are very vocal and very noisy, as you know. So I believe that this is just one more occasion for the young people to evolve as an electoral force. I hope it will not descend to physical violence.
Ma'am, we have a segment here where we mention specific topics, national issues. Tapos, on top of your head, what's the first word?
What's the first?
First word po. that comes
First
from-
word.
When you hear these topics.
It's like
Okay.
fast talk.
Yes, po. Like
Okay.
Number one, divorce bill.
Divorce bill, yes.
Same
Bakit mo pilitin silang kasama pinapatay na nilang isa't isa? Maganda yung larawan ng nagmamahalan, pero kung divorce, they can be homicidal. Bayaan mo na lang. As long as the grounds for divorce are properly strict, so that young people will not be misled into using it as an experiment.
Same-sex marriage.
Same-sex marriage that is not yet allowed under our Constitution, and more specifically under the Civil Code, because the Civil Code defines a marriage as a relation between a man and a woman. I have no objection to same-sex marriage if these legal obstacles are first worked out. But right now, it's illegal in our country. Well, you can just live together. What's the big deal?
People get married.
Maybe for inheritance or adoption.
Okay, next ma'am. BBL.
BBL.
BBL Bangsamoro Law, ay hindi pwede sa akin yon. Dahil, ang ginagawa niya sa kanyang mga provisions ay sub-state. Magpapatayo sila ng sarili nilang estado. Ngayon, sa ating constitution, ang allowed lang sa local governments at the most is regional autonomy. That's why for me, BBL is completely dead in the water. It's unconstitutional.
K to 12.
Okay, to 12. I don't know if that is such a wise move. And for example, I am told that at least 70,000 teachers will be thrown out of their jobs. So, we don't necessarily have to do what everyone else abroad is doing. We should restudy this. I think it merits revisit.
Kidapawan.
Kidapawan, more specifically about
Yung
farmers.
dispersal.
The farmers.
Line
Oh.
of dispersal.
militarization. Well, first of all, you have to demilitarize the private armies. And second, those who are charged with similar offenses or crimes should now be speedily sentenced.
EDCA.
EDCA? In relation to what?
Traffic
US
It's a
US
US
presence since the West
Yes.
Philippines in the West Philippines.
Oh, the agreement on the West Philippine Sea? Well, our problem is that constitutionally, the two countries treat the same matter differently. In our case, an attack on any of our capital cities will be treated as an attack on the metropolitan territory. In the American case, they don't. So, if something happens and we follow that rule, it will be unfair to the Philippines. Plus, when they execute a treaty, they have to have the concurrence of the American Congress. But in our case, no, it's the reverse. They have to have the concurrence of the Philippine Senate, I mean. So, may balakid pa yan. The treaty has to hurdle that obstacle. But in their case, they allow their president to enter into not a treaty, but an executive agreement when there is no defined difference between treaty and executive agreement. So, talo tayo doon. Because if the U.S. government doesn't want to assume responsibility for any of its actions, it can just say, well, it's just a mere executive order or administrative order or something below the nature of a treaty. Masyadong matinik yung mga Amerikano na yun. Buti na lang marami rin naka-eskwela sa Amerika.
Next, ma'am, climate change.
Climate change. First of all, there is still the threshold question of, is there really climate change? Because there are some disbelievers. My view is, yes, there is inevitable climate change, and the earlier we prepare for it, the better. I would like to suggest the formation at cabinet level of a disaster management and security, disaster risk assessment and management, so that the effort to prevent or at least to mitigate disaster will be taken continually throughout the year. Hindi na kung merong announcement ng typhoon halimbawa o iba pang climate disturbance, saka pa lang tayo natataranta. And we are in the rim of fire in the Pacific. So it is inevitable and we cannot help it. There is no way to prevent these disasters. So the best thing we can do to protect ourselves is to engage in disaster prevention and mitigation.
Next po, contractualization.
Lahat kaming presidential candidates said, we are against contractualization. Dahil ang contractual worker can be laid off anytime. Pero itong Secretary of Labor, nagsabi namang, daming mawalan ng trabaho pag nawala yon. So, pag-aralan natin mabuti ang mga statistics ni Labor Secretary so that we can understand. But, all loopholes should be closed so that the employer will not make himself immune from any suit by a worker on the ground that the working relationship is based only on a contract.
Next po, Manila traffic.
Well, I already answered that.
We have one word, ma'am, to
Describe it.
Huh?
One word to describe, ma'am.
Describe Manila traffic in one word. Devilish. Only the devil can.
Can survive.
Okay, ma'am. Next po. Philippine Internet.
What about the internet?
Internet of the Philippines.
Oh.
Service.
You see, we are still in the process of assessing the impact of social media, particularly of the internet. Even in other countries, they are still making this ongoing assessment. But we cannot help it. We're in the throes of it. Technology is caught up with us. So we just must deal with it. It will present a new set of problems. But we have enough legal minds to deal with them. The internet is a broad connection of all the information highways in the world. Kaya ang pagtatanong mo dyan ay, ano? Lahat ba tungkol sa akin na dyan? Pangalawa, baka madenggoy ako ng mga nasa internet. Paano ko malaman yun na tunay pala silang mga tao at hindi predators? Pangatlo, hacking, business practices. You can use the internet to hack into the private website and then obtain details of a certain company. of course, they regard that with horror. So there are many things you can say about the internet, but the thing is, it's already here. We have no choice.
Tax reform, income tax reform.
I'm sorry?
Income tax reform.
Tax reform.
Oh, income tax. I am in favor of lowering the income tax from 32% to 25%. Even the corporate income tax, corporate, but still income tax, I'm in favor of lowering it also to 25%.
SSS pension hike.
There's nothing controversial about it. All the pensioners, of course, receive this as glad tidings, except that it will come from their own money. If they're asked for government subsidy, that will delay it for many years.
FOI bill.
Freedom of information, that is highest priority in my list of priorities for Malacanang. I will have it refiled, and then I will certify it as urgent.
Next po, daang matuwid.
Daang
Daang
matuwid.
matuwid.
Daang matuwid. It's just a slogan. I don't think. Daang matuwid. Halimbawa, kung matuwid ang daan, merong dinakip, no? Dahil sa plunder charges, 3 senador. Di dapat yan,
Lahat.
dahil sa batas natin, walang bail ang accused of plunder. Di dapat yan, lahat sila nakakulong na ngayon at diretso na sila sa paglista. Eh una, bakit nakalabas ang isa? Sabi niya, palabas na ninyo ako dito, hirap na ako, matanda na ako. Tapos nang napalabas siya, nagmarcha ba naman ng kayabang-yabang doon sa Senado? At nag-attend. Paano nangyari yung in a rule of law? Pagkatapos, kung matagal itong kasong ito, it will be a black mark against the Aquino administration because it will be a case of justice delayed is justice denied.
Ma'am, sir. Next po, martial law.
Martial law is an experience that many of us are familiar with, but it takes a lot of egoism to declare martial law. So I hope we'll never have it unless the ruler, the leader, is very narcissistic. Martial law is just the expression of a frustrated soul.
Next po, tanimban.
Tanimbala. You can expect that when I was immigration commissioner, I had a brush with some of the problems there in the airport. Alam mo ba, na ang mga empleyado ng Bureau of Customs, Bureau of Immigration, ay nagpapatayan, nagpabarilan sila para lang ma-include sila ng mga empleyado sa airport. Napakayaman ng mga naka-assign sa airport, nagpapatayan sila. Dahil, hingan mo lang halimbawa, ilan ang by the thousands ang dumadaan sa airport. Kaya araw-araw ganun na thousands ang kikitain mo. Kung hihingi ka, for example, from on OFW. So you can just imagine how criminally malign the atmosphere is. I went to work there one time. When I was immigration commissioner, I acted as an immigration teller, and I had someone time me so that I could set the regular standard of time for the immigration employees to process papers. Yan ang pag-process ng papers, pwede namang mabagal, pwede namang brisk and business-like. Kaya pag pinabagal mo yan, halimbawa ang ginagawa ko, primero I was business-like. So natuwa yung balikbayan. Pangalawa, I was very malumanay. I was very gentle. Aba, nang tinignan ko ang passport niya, tinignan ko ang mukha niya, may duda ko kung yun ang taong yun. Nagbigay na kaagad ng $1. Kaya lahat pala sila dyan, pag bumaba ang balikbayan, ang mga passport ng balikbayan, may $1 na. para sa customs at sa immigration. Ganon kasalimuot yun.
Next ma'am. Juan Ponce.
I'm sorry?
Juan Ponce.
What I have to say is not decent.
Okay lang po, ma'am.
Do you want to say more?
No? Hi.
We have all the time in the world now.
No?
Okay na. Ma'am, ngayon po, kasalukuyan meron 30,000 viewers tayo at this very moment. And so, may nagtanong po na narinig ko kasi ngayon tungkol sa internet na binanggit niyo po. Have you heard of the wehaveyourdata.com, yung recent leak po ng Comelec na information ng mga voters? Sa tingin niyo po, paano po maapektuhan nun yung credibility ng Comelec?
Well, it will strengthen the credibility of the COMELEC because in the past we were very worried and concerned about the problem of flying voters. This is a technological advance that will help us to eliminate flying voters.
Yung iba po ma'am sabi nila, it's their way to know if yung mga relatives nila na namatay ay voter pa rin hanggang ngayon.
Yeah.
So, yung iba po sabi na it has a good side and it has a bad
Yeah.
side. So,
Now, well, of course, you give up your privacy for that, and for all the world, you publish it to all the world. But ano lang naman ang detalye na kinukuha sa atin ng ating mga voters application? Konti lang naman eh. So, I would say yes. I'm in favor.
On a lighter... Sige.
I would like to ask,
Yes.
you are well known for as a constitutional authority. Are we giving due respect to our constitution today?
No?
Why?
Because number one, there is a provision in our constitution that there shall be no political dynasties. Sabi niya, the law on political dynasties shall be passed by the legislature. Kaya yun palang intent, nakikita na natin anong intention at ang hangarin ng ating constitutional framers. Hindi pa rin tayo gumagawa ng anti-dynasty law dahil yung mga dynasties sa Senate at sa House, ayaw. Apektado kasi sila. So, that is the way in which we view our Constitution. We are not ashamed when we are confronted with the fact that our actions might be in direct violation of constitutional mandates. Just because indirect yung paglagay sa Constitution does not mean that it cannot be done. In fact, it is an indication that the constitutional framers wanted political dynasties to be outlawed. Sana ginawa na lang nila. Mahirap yung mga provisions sa legislature shall do this, shall do that. Ay kung ayaw ng legislature dahil apektado ang mga kasapi niya.
Ma'am, how do you define political dynasty?
That is a very good question because there are very different definitions of what is a political dynasty. Kaya nasa atin yun. Kaya dapat yan, nasa session hall yun ng Senado para maliwanagan tayong lahat. Una, you have to define what civil degrees of relationship should exist between a candidate and a presumed candidate who is a relative. Shall it be first civil degree? Masyadong mag-stricto yun. Hanggang ngayon sa tatay mo. Second civil degree, hanggang asawa mo. So, that I will leave that as an open-ended question for discussion by the legislature.
Ma'am, sa mga Facebook followers po namin, sa social media po namin basically, ang dalawa pong number one candidate na laging favorite ng crowd or ng netizens, si Cao and si Duterte. So, ano po sa tingin nyo yung edge nyo kay Duterte? Kasi mas mataas po kayo sa kanya ng
He's been very polite and gentlemanly about me with all the questions thrown to him by the press. For example, in the presidential debate, he was assigned to interpellate me because there was a time when the candidates were asked to interpellate each other. you would think that there would be hostile questions or embarrassing questions, but he said, I declined to interpellate her because I don't see anything wrong. So, what I can say about him is that in his term as mayor, he has produced a sense of orderliness and decency in Davao. Davao is the Philippines' largest province. So, it takes quite a turn. Plus, I've always visited him in his house. His house is always very humble. He lives in a humble neighborhood. He does not live in a gated subdivision. I think that's why people like him. Because maliwanag naman na hindi niya pinipera yung kanyang kinikita sa gobyerno. Okay?
We have a website for it's called Every Live, and it's dedicated for millennials. So we have medyo live questions for you. Okay, number 1, tagged as the Iron Lady of Asia, what superpowers would you want to have in real life to solve the problems of the government?
Oh, the power to stop people to death. Pag tinuro kong ganyan, patay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Any other superpower other than something?
Super sets.
Sense po. Super sense. Okay. Next po. When it comes to life and love, would you take the risky choice or play safe?
Will you take the risky choice
Or play safe?
or play it safe? Oh, I always like to go out on a limb. I will take a choice.
With Durian being a big hit, you know Durian, ma'am?
Duterte
is a
and
combination
Miriam.
Ah.
of Duterte and Miriam.
Well, I heard of it.
Yeah.
Yes, please
As
tell
love
us.
team po on social media. Okay. With Durian being a big hit to everyone, especially the youth, what can you tell to all of its supporters?
To all of
What's
it.
your message to the
Supporters.
supporters of Durian?
Oh,
Durian.
in what order will it come? Duterte Miriam or Miriam Duterte?
Near door na. Near door.
Riamdo.
Last ma'am.
Well, we have similar characteristics in certain aspects. We are very plain speaking, although I don't use as racy words as he does. And there is no public reputation of dishonesty, although there has been an accusation by Senator Trillanes, as you know, against him for alleged unrevealed bank accounts. But otherwise, that's why we are compatible, because we have many traits in common. The first time we met each other was at lunch in his house. He took out his gun, laid it on the table, and said, "This is my gun. Let me see yours."
Last po, ma'am. Kasi we know you have a book. Can you give us a sample of a pickup line?
Oh,
Favorite niya, ma'am.
there are so many of them.
Your favorite na lang po.
I can give you a pickup line just off the cuff.
Will there be a third coming up?
I will try, but it's really a collection.
Okay na kayo sa kabila.
Last.
Last,
Oh.
yes?
There are about 10 or 11 days left before the election. What can we expect of Senator Miriam
The train.
on the trail, remaining days?
Well, I will reveal to the Filipino public the tyranny of the survey. Bakit? Parang sumusunod tayo kung anong nalagay sa survey. Eh kung ganun pala, dapat malaman natin sinong may-ari itong Pulse Asia at SWS dahil silang namumini. Silang makakaroon ng bentaha. They're taking away the right, equal for every Filipino, to have a say on the selection of his leader. Because they will make him believe, they will precondition his mind that certain figures are already leading in the survey. That's what I will do in the last few days of the campaign.
Does it help?
Yeah.
The survey? Does it help,
Well,
or it sways the voters?
It depends on who the voter is. Intelligent voters will not even pay it a single thought. But massa voters would be considerably influenced.
Leo?
Ma'am, if you become the next president of the Philippines, what will have become of our country by the time you step down in 2022? I mean, how do you envision
I would have
the
worked so honestly, so competently, with pure dedication, that by 6 years after I have assumed office, every one of us will be able to stand in any platform in international circles and say, I am proud to be a Filipino.
Proud to be natural. Very.